Hello, welcome to Shoebox episode 10. Yes, we made it to 10.
It's our 10th episode.
Yay!
Ooh.
And YouTube still hasn't decided to remove this yet. So that's
Which is the blessing in disguise.
Rest.
Right, on this time's episode we're talking about the Hateful Eight.
Yeah, we saw that shit. We saw that shit good.
But just to introduce everybody first, I've got Flynn with me,
Hello, everybody.
we've got Lewis,
Yes.
and you got me, Josh Edney.
I guess we should start off by saying major spoilers. We're going to be discussing the film in...
Major spoilers.
That is true.
So if you haven't seen it already, well, basically go away, go watch it first, and then, come back and then we can have a nice civilised chat.
Definitely.
Well, it's not really civilised, is it?
No, it's carnage everywhere.
Yeah, it's gonna
Fucking bloodbath.
Bloodbath, like every Tarantino movie, is like, yeah, it's the charm of it.
It's the charm of it.
Yeah.
it's over the top violence with hilarious ways. Of
Yeah,
lying.
because like it makes you laugh at things you'd think you never laugh at in your life. It's like, you come out of that movie questioning,
Yeah.
what did I just laugh at, and two, was that morally right?
Yeah, was that... Am I a bad person for laughing at that? Is the question I was questioning.
Am I a
right
bad
there.
person for seeing someone shot in the balls?
Yeah, totally. Oh, that's the thing with Tarantino. Whenever he makes a film, he makes a film, not hey, I'm gonna make this thing and people are gonna go and he makes it for pure entertainment. He knows it's a film.
Instead of making a film for like blockbusters and masses and audience figures and Oscars and stuff like that, he just makes a film.
Yeah.
As in, he makes a movie like an actual western or something like that.
Yeah,
on
it's
those
brilliant.
lines, and make it feel.
If anything, they are. We would say they are the modern western.
Yeah,
technically,
basically.
but
even
though this one is set in the western, so it's western.
No, that's the thing
In
with
the
films
snow.
today. They try and suspend your disbelief so much that it makes you. They try and make you think that this is not a film. This is totally happening. However, Tarantino is what I love about him. He's one of the only ones out there that goes, no, this is a film, and I'm not going to try and pretend it's nothing. It's not a film. It's the same thing with Pulp Fiction. It's like the briefcase is a MacGuffin in the purest sense of the word. He didn't try and make it gold. It's something that everyone wants, which is what a MacGuffin is. That's why he doesn't show it, because it's a MacGuffin. He's not going to pretend it's not.
Device,
Yeah, it's the plot
drives
device.
It drives the plot.
Yeah, exactly. That's all it needed to be, and that's all it was in the film.
Going on, actually, just before you move on, you know how like most people were trying to make things look real and stuff like that, and make it like it actually happening. I think some superhero movies have suffered from that recently, where like they should be comic-y. They should have this is where Marvel's shining at the moment, because like essentially what they're doing is bringing in the villains, maybe dampening them down if they're too extreme, but keeping them as slightly goofy villains. Sort of
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. That's why I loved Ant-Man so much.
Yeah.
Because Ant-Man was... It was... Everyone said, oh, this is a stupid concept. What about a superhero that shrinks? Obviously, I've read the comics, so I know that... Yeah, they made it that good. And bringing that background to Tarantino, he's made something that really shouldn't work.
Yeah.
As in the whole first half of this film, right up to the intermission, except for the little bit before the intermission, is completely dialogue and character building. That is it. It's setting the scene, it's setting the characters, and that's it. After that, fucking bloodbath. Absolute gore fest.
Yeah, so for the first part, it's essentially just like it is your movie. After that, bloodbath and all sorts of things come to fruition. You're like, it's kind of like your normal movie experience with a ton of chaos in the second half.
Yeah.
It's like he's going, okay, guys, I want you to know these characters. I want you to know this place. I want you to know what's going on. Right, these guys did it. Everyone dies.
Yeah, exactly. Flynn summed it up pretty much perfectly. But that's another brilliant thing about Tarantino. Because the fact that he writes and directs his movies, he knows what he wants 100% of the time. Unlike others in the movie industry who write scripts and then bring it to directors, hey, can you do this? Theoretically, if I was a director and someone brought me the script of The Hateful Eight, I'd throw it back at their face. I'd be like, what the fuck, man? You can't have a film that is half dialogue and half gore. You got to splice that stuff in between, because that's the most effective way of doing it. But he's done it. He's fucking done it.
Well, I wouldn't say it's the most effective way of doing it. I think it's the most
common.
No, it's the most marketable.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the best way to put it.
Because like Quentin Tarantino is now like almost like a brand name now. You see Quentin Tarantino's name on it, you're going to go see it because you're a fan of it.
Oh yeah,
that's what I did to this film. I saw Quentin's name on it and went, going to see it.
Which means now that when you go see a Quentin Tarantino film, you know what you're in for, and you can get away with so much more.
I mean, if anything, the first half, it's all talking, but most of it is kind of like heated like discussions usually half the time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you think about it, they're all talking about what they were, who they were, a bit about the past, of course, and how some things were like racially motivated, or they were just murdering people, or they were just having these light discussions.
One thing I did like about the dialogue is the fact that he didn't kind of like show you very much of the backstory. He didn't have to put in flashbacks very much. So there was one.
The only flashback there was after the halfway point, which was just showing what the hell happened.
No, you also got that flashback when he's talking about the Colonel's son. You
Oh,
remember
yeah,
that? That's technically a flashback. But when it comes to actually talking about the characters, where they're coming from, and their relationship to the rest of the characters, it's all just through dialogue and listening to these people interact.
That's probably how it works, though, because of course you're listening to all of them, and the only way you know who they are is by what they're saying. You don't get their flashbacks saying about who they are.
There's no exposition to say, I am this, I come from this.
And that's probably what keeps you guessing to who is actually the people trying to liberate the bounty in the end. I
think that's brilliant. Yeah, because from the start, you're almost in a way like Sam Jackson, but in the third person, as in you've been brought along in this carriage, just like he has. Like you hear about these backstories of these people through talking to them, not seeing them. It's like we're a guest along on this ride, and they're taking us on this journey, and Quentin's pushing it along.
But here's the thing, though. Even that it's still halfway through. Well, when it started getting to the bit where they started dying off, I still didn't know whether Samuel Jackson was part of the
Yeah, there was always that possibility. Yeah, which is fucking brilliant.
One strange question as well. Me and Flynn kind of like thought of as we were coming out of the movie was, who were the Hateful Eight?
Yeah, because if you think about it, there was 10 of them all. There's the 5 that arrive on the stagecoach, and then of course the 5 that's already there.
There's 4 on the stagecoach.
5, the driver.
No, yeah, there's the driver.
Obi, Samuel Jackson, Kurt Russell. Then
there is 5. However, it's I wouldn't really count the bounty, because she's adept at this point. She's chained up. It's kind of like a 4v4.
You've still got 9.
There's the 4. There's the 4.
9
No. There's that many people in total. But if you're counting everyone, there's the people that were originally at the haberdashery. Mm-hmm. I would initially count it as she's the MacGuffin, and it's a 4v4 without them knowing it. Yeah, when it comes to conflict, there's 2 different sides. When it comes to the overall thing, there are more than 8. I only think it's called the Hateful Eight as a way to not only throw people going off to go in, but also a reference that this is the 8th film that he's written and directed. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'd like to bring up as well how brilliantly placed the intermission is. How much it adds to the film. If you take the intermission out, the film wouldn't work as well as it does. Yeah,
it's kind of like a pacing choice more than anything else. It's not because it's like a long film. You could have put that all together as a 3-hour film. Bloody Avatar did it. They didn't have an intermission.
Yeah.
But if with this, the intermission being there made it kind of like...
it slows it right down.
It slows it right down, and you come back and readdress what you've just seen. And
hell, even Tarantino's like, all right, well, here's what the fuck just happened.
Yeah, he's like getting so into his film. He's like, right, I'm doing the fucking narration because I can't act in this film. Apparently, I expected him to be in this film to some extent because he loves putting himself in his own films, and to right to him, if I was a director, I'd probably do the same. However, that's fucking brilliant. I'd love the actors as well. Oh my god, everyone plays their role so fucking well. Like everyone, like they're so believable in such a non-believable scenario.
They're well-made characters. Like, it's the thing, they don't actually come off as real people in a sense as well. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But at the same time, you're like, I fucking love them. At the same,
I think that they don't come off as real people also helps the fact of that everyone could be deceiving one another.
Yeah, and also it plays into what we were saying earlier. He made a movie, not like a big budget sort of film for like, you know, to see if it be realistic.
Yeah.
Talking about movies, like, I'm a big fan of John Carpenter's The Thing. This film reminded me a lot of that. It's like they got Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, and Django Unchained with John Carpenter's The Thing, mushed it together and made a brilliant thing. Going back to that again, there was the guy that did the score for this film was the same guy that did the score for John Carpenter's The Thing. And there was an unused track on the soundtrack for The Thing.
Just to drop it out there, Kurt Russell.
Yeah, of course, Kurt Russell's in there as well. But there's an unused track in the soundtrack of The Thing that never made it to the film. Don't know why, because it's a really good track. Quentin Tarantino's put this in this film, put that unused track in this film. I looked it up when I got home and went, no fucking way, that's so cool. And apparently he's done that before with...
other projects.
His other projects.
Well, here's the thing, he might never, you know, he might have something in mind, but of course someone else's work probably outdoes it, so of course you're going to try and use that shit. It's going to fit better in your film.
Yeah, totally. It fits so well. It's so good. Not the suspense, but the paranoia in this film's really good, because you honestly don't know who it is. You're like, we went out and during the intermission, again, bringing back how good that was placed, we went out, right, who's it? Who fucking did it? Who's it going to be, yeah?
Right, just to wrap up this podcast, since we're running out of time, what was your highlighted moment each? So, Flynn, what's your favourite moment of the film?
Oh, my favourite moment of the film, Jesus Christ. Okay, that would actually have to be the tea bit after the intermission. They drink the tea, the guy's about to take another sip, and then all of a sudden, the other throws up.
Yeah.
Just throws up and you're like, holy shit.
It's the perfect thing to say, hey, this is what you're getting into now.
Right, Lou, what's your favourite moment?
It's so hard for me to choose. That came straight to my head when you asked me was the bit when we have the Tarantino moment and we flash back to before they arrived at the haberdashery. And you meet the people that are running the haberdashery, because all we're hearing throughout the dialogue section is Sam Jackson being like, "Oh, what about the people in the haberdashery? What about the people before the haberdashery?" Because he knew them, and you finally get to meet him. And I'm like, I really like these people, and it was really sad to see them go. I was like, it perfectly sets up that these people are fucking assholes. So and
tells you what is suspicious.
Yeah, tell you what's suspicious.
I think my favourite moment is the bit just before the intermission. So essentially, Sam Jackson is exacerbating this guy to shoot him. And he tells him a story about how he meets his son and what he does to him. And that moment just had me laughing the whole way through. There's a little bit of the shot where the old colonel guy's got like a blanket. His eyes are peering over the top of it. It just gets me in fits of laughter every time I see it. So... I think that was my favourite moment.
No, I do love that bit as well. It's such a well done bit.
Right, so we'll be back next Sunday. Hopefully we'll have another good subject to play on. I'm not sure who we're going to have for that one, but we will be back soon.
Why not leave a comment? Tell us what you want us to talk about.
Yeah, oh, might as well.
I mean topic, man. Hey man, it helps.
Yeah. So it's goodbye from me.
My turn to say goodbye, so I'm saying goodbye. Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. See you later, everybody.
Bye.
Do you need a blanket, Josh?
I don't want the blanket.
A blanket, Josh.
I don't want the blanket.
I want a blanket.
No blanket.
Is it cold, Josh?
I ain't no sucking anything.
You said about suck.